is Patricia Miller, and this is my screencast for ATM 101 Unit 12. In this section of the class, we've been focusing on forecasting, so I will be discussing the forecast that we have predicted for March 23rd through March 28th, 2014, along with a comparison to the actual recorded NWS data and the observations that I made from my own weather site. So my weather site is located again in Kodiak, Alaska, which is an island in the Gulf of Alaska, shown here. Here is the spreadsheets of the data for my weather observations in the NWS website observations for the week of March 21st through March 28th. There are definitely some differences in temperature data here. I think that's due to the fact that my weather station gets more sunlight in the morning, and in the afternoon it's in the shade. So here is the forecast for Monday, March 24th, according to the NWS website. The majority of Alaska is clear with no cloud coverage, and there is a cloud accumulation all around Alaska, as seen around the Gulfs in the ocean areas here, and also spotty cloud coverage in Canada with the high pressures here. The actual readings for about the same time as I took my observation for the NWS website was 41 degrees Fahrenheit. The winds were 16 miles per hour with some cloud coverage. My data was relatively close to the NWS website, but as you can see on the forecast map, it indicates that we have no cloud coverage at all. Here's Kodiak right here. So the forecast that was done is kind of inaccurate to what actually happened on Monday for the Kodiak area. So the forecast for Tuesday, March 25th, you can see the clouds to the west of Kodiak and the west of Alaska in general are moving their way towards the interior. They're closing in, as it were, on the coasts of Alaska. This day for the Kodiak area, the forecast would get an A- as a grade because it's almost matched 100% with the actual data recorded. As you can see, the NWS website data up here, the clouds had shown that it was going to be clear that day. And also with my own observations, we had 25% cloud coverage, so it was almost clear, but altocumulus clouds were there. On Thursday, March 27th, the low pressures begin to intensify and close in farther on the coastlines. On the west coast of Alaska, you can see the low over the Bering Sea area really begins to intensify, and it branches out, pushing farther into the coast, as you can see along here. And for the low in the south, or in the Gulf of Alaska, right down here, it intensifies as well, bringing more cloud coverage over the Kodiak area, as seen here. For the forecast weather map for Friday, March 28th, you can see the low over the Bering Sea actually gains a buddy, so there's two lows in that area. Whether it created itself or it was a branch off the first low, we'll never know, but either way, it looks like it was forecasted to get worse over the Bering Sea area, but it has also at the same time pulled back away from the coastlines, but it also left these symbols here mean fog, so it also left a trail of fog along the coastline there. In the Kodiak area, the weather didn't change much from the day before, but the low in the southeast corner off the coast of Washington has just been staying in that same place over the past few days. Here I'm going to take a closer look at the Kotzebue area and the temperatures and why they dropped quite a bit from the previous day to this day and the forecast for Friday. I think that the drop in temperature is due to the amount of cloud coverage in the area because there's no indication of heavy winds. As you can see, the isobars are pretty far apart from each other. And so if there's less cloud coverage, especially in the evening, it would get much colder. And so on average, the overall temperature would be lower for the Kotzebue area. In my investigation, I found that Kodiak and Talkeetna were the most accurate. The two areas are pretty different from each other, I think. Kodiak is a coastal area and Talkeetna is an interior area, so honestly I don't know why they might be more accurate, unless Talkeetna has more mountains around it. Not sure. I would assume that it's because they are smaller areas to predict weather for. Mathematically, the temperatures were the closest to the NWS average temperatures. Also, the experience of the forecast may be higher in these areas. It could also be that the forecasters were lucky, or they had accurate interpretations of the equipment or computer models. For the least accurate forecasts, I had Fairbanks and Kotzebue. Again, these areas were different from each other's in terms of geographical placement, Kotzebue being coastal and Fairbanks being interior. The temperatures observed in these areas were not as close to the NWS average temperatures. These areas are also larger and flatter, I think. Looking at it now, I see that there are differences in latitude from the most accurate to the least accurate areas. That possibly could be a factor. So I thought it might be fun to add today's weather map in for April 14th and give my own weather forecast for tomorrow, April 15th. So I'm going to use persistence method in forecasting for tomorrow, and that'll be like today, sort of partly cloudy with a chance of rain, and the temperatures could be in the low 40s and the high 30s. And so that's a look at weather for tomorrow. Overall, my observation data was okay. I would probably give it a B- or a C on the grading scale of accuracy. I know that while taking my observations, my temperature data has always been a bit lower than the NWS website, and I possibly think that's due to location. My wind observations have always been off due to the fact that my observation site is in the middle of a bunch of buildings, and I'm at the base of a mountain. But anyways, spring is here in Kodiak, and I hope that our April showers bring May flowers. Thanks for watching.